Starting Wednesday, New York State will no longer require masks in public schools.
Governor Kathy Hochul made that announcement yesterday, where the indoor mask mandate will be lifted in city schools. That is now up to Mayor Eric Adams. In a statement late yesterday, the mayor said, quote, "At the end of this week, we will evaluate the numbers and make a final announcement on Friday. If we see no unforeseen spikes and our numbers continue to show a level of low risk, New York City will remove the indoor mask mandate for public school children. And beginning today, city public school students and staff will no longer be required to wear masks outdoors."
Hallelujah! Joining us right now, the president of the United Federation of Teachers, President Michael Mulgrew. Nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me.
All right, are you ready to take the masks off outside right now?
Yes. Yeah, we fully support that. Our doctors, all the doctors are saying that this is the step that we need to take. And hopefully this week we do not see a spike. We're getting optimistic, fingers crossed. We're getting optimistic. If we don't see a spike, we will sit down with the mayor and go through the numbers. We'll do this week of testing, and hopefully we can get to it's an optional decision for people to make.
Right. I mean, because everybody's saying, isn't it time for the kids to take off their masks? The kids did not show any huge spike in COVID numbers in the last year or so.
We did see a spike with the children with the Omicron, but we saw nothing, any severity of illness with them. So for us, this is more of the doctors just saying, we think we're there, but we don't want to say too much at this point, just remain optimistic. And if we can get there and it becomes an option at the schools, it'll be tough. It'll be tough to deal with. There's people that are very heated on this argument, but we try to tell everyone the same thing. We listen to our doctors. They're independent from everyone. And then if it's a personal decision at that point, that's what it is. We'll just be forthright about it.
Yeah. Can you give us a bit more insight onto what qualifies as a spike? Because I know that you were giving children these tests to take home. Right now you're at 1%. So what percentage is going to be hit or will need to be hit for you to no longer?
The first 2 weeks of January, the numbers, those were positivity numbers we had never seen inside the schools. I mean, we were still much lower than the community, but we had never seen numbers approach, 7-8% inside of the schools. And that's what we're having. And most of that was driven by student positivity. But again, thankfully, that was not anywhere near a severe variant that we had in the past.
So if it hits like 3%,
that has dropped dramatically. We are now seeing levels of positivity that we haven't seen since the beginning of this pandemic. So that's why we're getting optimistic, but we've been optimistic before.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to keep our fingers crossed and knock on wood right now.
Yeah, I think most people just want to know if, if you get up to 2%, it's like, okay, do we keep the mask back on much longer? So that's what I just wanted to hopefully clarify with you.
I would be shocked if the number comes out to 2% this week because it is so low right now. But it really came down to where people traveled in the United States during the break. Yeah. And that was the plan going into this break. The mayor had said, we had a lot of communications, and he said, look, if we see the numbers, we'll do the 2 sets of tests, the ones that people do take home, as well as the ones in the school. And if we don't see a spike, we should be able to move forward. We said we probably believe that also, and that's what our doctors have been telling us, especially at the end of last week. They were informing us that that's really the path we should take if the numbers show it to be that way.
Fantastic. Okay, so the New York Times did a big story today. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet. They said there is now a consensus that children learned much less than usual and that their mental health suffered when schools were shut for months in 2020 and 2021.
Yep.
What did you see?
We've seen this, and that's why we said the argument and the debate about masks, I understand greatly, but the real concern right now, the teachers in our schools are doing a monumental task in trying to overcome all of these challenges because there's been so much damage done to our children during this pandemic. And that's really where we need to get to next. So we're working with the new chancellor who said we really have to have a robust plan. We have to try to minimize the amount of time that's going to be needed to undo the severity of all of the different challenges. And it's so tough. You go into a first grade right now. Those children basically have never been in school. So just think about all that developmental steps that they've missed. You go to a 9th grade, they didn't go to middle school. So, and the social emotional trauma on top of it is massive inside of our school system. But the teachers are out there doing the job, and they're just saying, can we get some support and a real plan around this as a school system? If not, we'll continue to do this job on our own. But I think we can do better on behalf of the children, and I'm really looking forward to working with the new chancellor to get a robust support plan in place for the teachers and for the students of our city.
I just want to clarify things. Wasn't at one point the UFT pushing for remote learning even this year?
Yeah, and you know, if the medical decisions had to be made that said that would keep people safe, fine. Remote, from the very beginning, we always said it would be a way for us to continue to engage our students, but it's not the best way to go. And if when it comes down to safety versus education, we're going to choose safety first. But we have to balance it in this pandemic. At the same time, we've been asking and advocating, you know, we had to deal with a transition of government. And let's just say the plan that we tried to put into effect for September did not go well because the outgoing administration was making decisions really based off political needs versus the needs of the children.
Wow, interesting. Mayor de Blasio, political needs, really? Do you want to say anything on that, or you just want to?
I'm just saying that our focus at all times should be the children. There should be no politics in education, but sadly that's not the case. But it really should be about the children, and not rhetorically, but substantively.
Okay. Michael Mulgrew, nice to have you on Good Day New York, and good luck with the rest of the school year. Hey, do you think there's going to be summer school? I think you should just do summer school this year, Michael. Get them up to speed.
There will be summer school, but remember that parents need to want to send their children also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See how it goes.
All right. I got plans. Gotta go. Thank you. Have a good day. Tina.